What's up, guys? Obviously, it's Captain Obvious, and welcome to the Armory. In today's episode, I'll be covering the L85A2 and the G3A3. These are both long-range automatic precision rifles. The G3A3 is very powerful and the L85A2 is very accurate. Despite being used in pretty much similar roles, these two weapons are very different from each other and very different from the rest of the assault rifle class, especially the G3A3. I'm going to start by covering the L85 and then move on to the G3A3 a little bit later in today's video. The L85A2. One of my favorite weapons in Battlefield 3 because of its extremely accurate fire and its very controllable nature. I love using the L85A2 in more of an aggressive, laid-back role. I like playing very aggressively with this weapon, but when times get tough, I will sit back and fire from behind my teammates while they run in. The L85A2 is a great support weapon and also a great aggressive weapon when used in the right situation. The damage on this weapon is 25 to 18.4 with the drop-off beginning at 8 meters and ending at 50 meters. Your shots to kill are 4 to 6 in core mode and 3 to 4 in hardcore mode. The rate of fire is 650 rounds per minute, which is pretty low compared to some of the other assault rifles, but in the case of the L85A2, it suits the weapon very well because you can hold the trigger down and the center speed is exactly the same as the rest of the assault rifles, so your accuracy is very good even with fully automatic fire at medium to long range. Suppressive effect is 7.0% and the muzzle velocity is 600 meters per second. Maximum range is 900 meters, which is a little bit lower than some of the other rifles. The reload speed isn't fast or slow, it's average at 2.80 seconds on normal and 3.40 seconds on empty. The L85 has a pretty average reload speed, though you may want to find a safe place to reload when you're empty because it's a little long. The L85A2 has a very favorable recoil pattern. It only shoots up, though it will go side to side the tiniest bit, it mainly goes up. The reason for that is because the horizontal recoils both left and right are balanced, so therefore you'll not see a significant horizontal recoil. The vertical recoil, however, is very present on this weapon, as you guys can see by this recoil demonstration. It has a very low value, but since there's no horizontal recoil pulling it any which way, your vertical recoil is very evident. That's why in my recommended classes I suggest using a flash suppressor to keep that down. Also, as you can tell, the spread is not high or low, it's actually right in the middle, though using a heavy barrel will make that more accurate in your longer range setup, which I'll explain later. The magazine size is 30 rounds plus 1 in the chamber. Now let's take a look at some recommended class setup for the L85A2. So for the aggressive playstyle class, I like to go with the Cobra, bipod, and flash suppressor. The reason I go with the Cobra is because it has an open sight picture, which is more useful in close to medium range. The bipod is very good in this weapon because it has no negative effects, but if you want to lay down some fire and play more of a support role, if you ever want to do that, you can have the bipod and lay down very accurate fire. I like to use the flash suppressor because it keeps down that vertical recoil so you don't have to worry about the recoil as much at closer range. You can focus on killing your enemy quickly and efficiently. For the defensive support playstyle, I like going with a rifle scope, bipod, and heavy barrel. Now, when I play with this weapon in this role, I stay back. It's very evident that you use the rifle scope in the back, and I'll tell you why. The rifle scope in the L85A2 has no negative effects. You still have that very favorable recoil. The heavy barrel may increase the vertical recoil a little bit, but you still have that bipod there to keep you down when you deploy it. You also may want to switch to 3-round burst mode when using this setup to keep the vertical recoil a little bit down, and you can focus more on your aimed accurate fire with the rifle scope. You can still compete at medium range with the rifle scope, but you just have to remember that you have more of a zoom, so you have to be paying attention to your surroundings more and don't get that tunnel vision at medium range. The L85A2 is all about accurate aimed fire. You have to be accurate and you have to control the recoil to make this weapon very effective. It's a very good weapon if you know how to use it. You have to compensate for that lower rate of fire and make sure all of your shots count even at longer range because some of the higher rate of fire weapons can still beat you out. Now I'm going to move on to the G3A3. The G3A3 is the quintessence of power in the assault rifle class. It has the highest stopping power out of every weapon in the game and is very accurate. The damage on this rifle is a whopping 34 to 22 with the drop-off beginning at 8 meters and ending at 60 meters. Your shots to kill in core mode are 3 to 5 and in hardcore that is 2 to 3. This weapon has extremely high damage and you have to use that to your advantage when using the rifle. Understandably, the rate of fire is 550 rounds per minute, and the suppressive effect is 10.0%, the highest in the assault rifle class. Muzzle velocity is 500 meters per second, and maximum range is 750 meters, both lowest in this class. Surprisingly, the normal reload on this weapon is 2.10 seconds, and it's very fast actually. Empty reload is back to a slow 3.40 seconds, and the threshold is 1.575 and 2.55 seconds respectively. Multiplier is 0.75. Understandably, the vertical recoil is insanely high on the G3A3, and the horizontal recoil is not evident whatsoever because they have the same exact value both left and right, meaning it will not play a factor in your fire. Spread is actually very low for this weapon, meaning you have high ADS accuracy on the G3. Controlling the vertical recoil through either burst firing or single shot fire is very advisable when using this weapon. The magazine size is 20 rounds plus 1 in the chamber, but that's okay because of the lower rate of fire. It's very balanced between the two. So for our aggressive playstyle role, I like going with the reflex, bipod, and flash suppressor. I like the reflex because it's very precise for the G3A3, and you need to be precise with the weapon. And also any red dot sight or holographic sight will do on this weapon. The bipod is there if you ever want to eliminate almost all of the recoil for some longer range accurate fire, and the flash suppressor is there to keep down that very heavy vertical recoil in close to medium range. The support playstyle role requires a little bit more of an explanation. The M145 is a very good sight for longer range fire. It is very precise, it has a definite location on where the bullet will go, right in the middle of that cross. The bipod is very good because you want to eliminate all the recoil in order to have very good, controllable, accurate long-range fire. The heavy barrel is there to increase the accuracy even more to make sure all of your shots count. It's a great complement to the bipod because of decreased recoil, you can have even more accurate shots than it already has. Having very high accuracy at longer range with such a high-powered weapon is a very good option, and it's very good with this weapon. In terms of power, the G3A3 beats out every single other weapon in this game, and you have to use it to that advantage. You have to use the G3A3 like a high-powered rifle. That means single-shot, accurate fire. You got to make sure all your shots count due to the lower rate of fire and the fact that your magazine size is low. Using the attachments I recommend is a very important thing. You have to use the bipod to keep the vertical recoil down, and you have to use that flash suppressor to keep your on-the-move vertical recoil down when you're not planted down with the bipod. And that's it for today's episode of the Armory. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Next episode, I will be covering the M416 and the AK-74M, the last two assault rifles in the class. Twitter and Facebook links are down in the description. And as always, rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. And now, just in case you guys missed it, here is last episode of the Armory. I covered the FAMAS and the AEK-971. The gameplay right here is actually filler gameplay because I deleted the gameplay from the Armory from last episode. Twitter, Facebook, and if you guys have yet to, make sure you subscribe. Talk to you guys later. Bye.